What's up, everybody? Hopefully, this short video. I just want to document this process that we're going through. Horry County Police showed up to my private property and requested that I come outside. But then after me asking them for any type of authority to force me to come outside, which they didn't have any. So I suggested, give me some type of order from the court. Give me, when I asked, do you have a warrant? The officer said, yes, I have a warrant, which he didn't. I said, okay, well then, place it in between the screen door right here at my front door. Close the door, back away. I'll open the door, take a look at it, and if everything is right and correct, I will come with you, no problem, no delay. Well, hour and a half almost goes by, and they did not produce a warrant. The supervisor or a sergeant came out trying to do the same thing, search my property without a warrant, that sort of thing. There were 4 police total, Horry County police officers total that came out, or as far as the vehicles that I saw around my property, called 911, and they did not, and asked for the sheriff, and they didn't send the sheriff nor any help. The lady eventually said, "Sir, I'm going to have to let you go." Didn't send any help. I told her I felt like I was in danger. These officers weren't following the law. So anyway, we got to understand that even 911 is not here to help. These are corporations. I'm not going to get into that, though. All y'all, a lot of y'all might already know. So that's what I'm going to assume. A lot of y'all know this stuff already. If not, ask questions, leave a comment in the comment section down below. And we'll try to see if we can't work this thing out and get you some information, man, and get you on board to know what's going on. All right, so this is Freedom of Information Act request form from the Horry County Police Department, as you can see right there. I got my personal information in. I have nothing to hide. It is what it is. So number one, if you can see down the information requested, hopefully you can see that. A 911 call from my phone number around 7:30 p.m. Please provide the recording and transcript, a copy of the bonds for the officers as required by law, and I list the officers' names. And then number 3, please list and provide all the federal funding sources for Horry County Police Department for the fiscal year. They are trying to follow and only follow county and state law. Well, if you're receiving federal funds, then you are required to follow federal law. So that's why I want that information. So they can't argue that they aren't required to follow those laws, or South Carolina can make its own laws. Okay, you very well can, but you still got to follow these other laws when they trump your little laws that you try to use to get over on people. All right, and then the last thing was the copies of the body camera and vehicle cameras for the police officers. So the 4 officers are responding to my private property on 1/3/17 around 7 p.m. The actual call took place for me to 911 at 7:37 p.m. So I started writing notes on the situation around 7:11 p.m. I looked at my clock and then I wrote that down on my notes. So just give you a time frame from when I finally called 911 at the suggestion of the sergeant who was searching my property, who I invited, to come from the side of my house to the front door so we can talk. Anyway, let me read this notice. This should be pretty interesting. Notice: I request that the fees and charges for this public service be waived in accord with public policy. I have no cash or money and therefore cannot pay. I do reserve all my rights, including my rights to receive all information. I have requested, if there is any other lawful method with which I may pay these charges, then I accept the fees and charges and authorize full settlement and discharge of any debt that I might incur from this FOIA request. If my request for a waiver is not honored, then I request a true bill in the name of Bernard Emmanuel Jackson Jr., care of, and that's the all caps corporation, which I have documentation from the state of Florida that shows that this is a fictitious name and that I'm doing business in his name. The state of South Carolina does not require that you register a fictitious name. So therefore, I don't have any documentation for them, though I have put the state on notice and let the Secretary of State know that I'm doing business in that name, that name is a fiction, is a corporation. And so if you understand what's going on here, you'll know why that's important. If not, I suggest you ask some questions. But anyway, there's the address for the business. And then I said, I affirm all information is right, true, and correct as far as my knowledge. This is my will. Please let it be so. All right. So I'm not asking for any benefit or anything. I'm requesting the information and them being public servants. Hopefully they honor my request. If not, they will be in dishonor of their offices if they in fact are public servants. Which anyway, that's yet to be proven or acknowledged by any of these offices, which we requested oaths, bonds of these people. Nothing is legit. I know this, but I'm just documenting myself, getting a paper trail to help document the fraud that's taking place, and just really just seeing what happens. Now, in regard to this particular Freedom of Information Act request, now I filled this thing out, sent it in, and they told me that what happened. There was another form that I need to fill out in regard to it being a general form initially for the city, and I needed to do one specific for the police department. Well, I actually called them and got this information from them, then went down there and took out the filled out wrong form. They looked over it, took it to the back, came back and said, okay, they'll get back with me on Monday. This was on a Friday. And Friday, the person that gets back with me tells me I filled out the wrong form and that I need to fill out another form. I'm like, okay. So I filled out this other form for the police department. Now, nowhere on here does it say that I need to not on the form does it say that I need to fill out a separate form for a 911 call, but there was an additional document that, well, I guess so they give you a little information and instruction page. So luckily I do read the different things. And I see in here that if you want to request a 911 call, you have to fill out a 911 request form. So I go here, I print that form out, which is right here, and I fill that out. And then on here, it's funny, it says that a $10 charge in advance is due. Well, let me finish reading my letter or my note, my notice that I'm getting from them. Oh, I did finish reading it. So anyway, I signed it by B. Jackson, which is the authorized representative for this company right here. So I asked him for a true bill. The true bill should be, okay, these are the services and this is what we provided you, the services and goods we provided you. This is the cost form. No. This is what we provided you, an itemized list of it, and this is the cost for it over here, itemized. And we're saying, and they're saying with that document that it's a true document, that they provided this in all honesty, and the value that they provided meets what they said. Because I mean, it's $25 an hour to look up this information. I don't know what they're going to charge me, so I'm saying I accept whatever the charges are. However, I cannot pay because I have no money and I have no cash. So I'm willing to accept the charges, but how am I to pay if I have no money and no cash? And it is my right to receive these documents regardless of whether or not I have money or anything to pay. The law doesn't say anything about me being required to have money to pay in order for me to exercise or receive the benefit of my rights. So anyway, this is like I said, I'm just fucking with them, really. I'm documenting this experience, and you know how they mess with us. You know how they mess with us with the law and do things to antagonize, like coming to my house without a warrant and claiming that they did have one, which is they break their own law. To say that you have a warrant and don't have one, that's against the law and the South Carolina Code of Laws. So anyway, I'm messing with them back. I don't know what this will do. I'm willing to pay the charges in regard to the fiat dollars that I actually go and earn with my labor. So basically, they're forcing me into slavery in order to do this, because this is a right which I am not required to pay by law to receive these things, but in order to receive them, then I have to give them these fiat dollars. And so that basically forces me to do it, and that's slavery. So, again, if you don't understand these concepts and these things that are going on, please, people, let's look into these things. Let's talk about them together. You'll see a lot more coming from BDK TV in regard to this. And so, there you have it. We're gonna go. I'm about to run out of memory on this memory card right here, so I'm gonna switch out and get another one. But this video is done. This is actually a little bit longer than I expected. But I'm Bernard the King. Peace and bliss. Love y'all.